Hi, I'm Kat Bailey, joined here by Editor-in-Chief of USGamer, Jeremy Parish. We just checked out the Nintendo games over at the Nintendo booth, and I guess, Jeremy, the first question I want to ask is, what was your favorite game?
That's kind of a tough thing to say. I really enjoyed Mario Maker as a concept, but it still seems a little underbaked. Yarn Yoshi is really fantastic. You know, I love Yoshi's Island. It's one of my all-time favorite games, and I've been waiting for a good, proper sequel that's not just more of the same thing. And I liked Yoshi's New Island, but it was more of the same thing. But this is taking those concepts, and it adds in the yarn element, and that adds a lot more to it. Kind of like Kirby's Epic Yarn, but it's very definitely a Yoshi game, you know, like chomping enemies, turning them into eggs, throwing them. But it takes out the Mario. You know, like, there's no Baby Mario, you're not babysitting, so that changes the dynamic of the game a bit. I don't know, I'm really happy with it. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. I actually think that it was a good idea to take out the Mario element, because even though it's a kind of a classic Yoshi's Island mechanic, I always felt that it made it a little too easy, so it's good for it to go away. And then also, I like that they take classic Mario elements and give them a spin that's based on the yarn element. For example, the classic hitting the coin box gets you a lot of different kinds of yarn. It's fun, and plus it's really attractive to look at. It's a fun game. The game that I was kind of surprised to be really into was Bayonetta. Now, I love Bayonetta anyway, but I guess I thought, okay, maybe it's more of the same. But when I was playing Bayonetta, I was reminded of what a really fantastic action series this is, and the way that they use gravity in interesting ways, that how fast it moves. I've kind of moved away from the fast action kind of games since Dark Souls has come out, but I think this is kind of the creme of the crop, like the apex. So were there any games at the Nintendo booth that disappointed you?
I don't know if I would say it's a disappointment, but I need a little more time to really get a feel for Splatoon. Like, the concept seems really imaginative. It's kind of a capture the flag, base defense, first-person shooter, where it's not really about shooting the other players. It's more about claiming territory. With, you know, the painting element is like Super Mario Sunshine, which I think is a great maligned game. But I don't know, the demo I played didn't quite come together yet. I feel like that needs a little more time to sort of mature, and they need to, I don't know, there just needs to be a little something else to it, and I'm not quite sure what, because we just played and I haven't had time to ruminate on it, but it has potential. It's just not quite there yet. What about you in terms of disappointments?
I'm not sure how I feel about Splatoon, just because I guess I'm not a big fan of the aesthetic, and it's a little hard to it doesn't immediately jump out at me. I think the mechanics are cool, but I think I would like to see them in a different context. You know what actually surprised me a little, or disappointed me a little bit, was Super Smash Brothers, because as much as I love that series, I don't know, it felt like this one didn't have as many new ideas as Brawl did. And I'll admit, I wasn't a big fan of Mega Man or Greninja. Part of it was that they, I don't know, they're not my types of characters. I liked Little Mac a little better. And the Smash Brothers DS game felt really strange, and I think it had a lot to do with the button layout. It just took some getting used to. I'm sure that it'll be a lot better when I actually get to playing the game. So, any surprises?
Yeah, actually, Captain Toad's Treasure Hunt, I think is the name of it, basically takes the little mini games out of Super Mario 3D Land and turns them into their own game with many, many more elements to it, more mechanics. And it's such a simple idea, but it works so well. Like, I played 2 or 3 levels, and it's just a kind of like action puzzle game. But it's fun, it's charming, the levels are constructed really cleverly. That was one of my favorite parts of Mario 3D Land. And yeah, I want to play more of that one. It was not something I expected, but I'm really glad it exists. And finally, surprises for you?
You know, I didn't really have any surprises when I was at the Nintendo booth, just because pretty much everything was I was expected, except I was really hoping for better from Hyrule Warriors, because it's a Nintendo game, it's Dynasty Warrior. I figured, even though it's Dynasty Warriors, and I really don't like that series, that Nintendo would kind of give it a nice touch, but God, that game felt like it was more than a decade old. Somehow it didn't quite work for me, like especially playing as Zelda. In Zelda and Smash Brothers, she uses magic a lot. In this one, she had a rapier, because God forbid you not have a character without a sword. And the mechanics are so simple. It's really a button smashing game. I just don't see myself playing Hyrule Warriors when it comes out. So, final takeaways?
I don't know. I liked what I saw for the most part. Nintendo is always kind of at its best when its back is in a corner, and it's definitely in a corner now, and so they've produced a lot of interesting original software. So it's good. I'm satisfied. I came to E3 for the games, and there are games.
Yeah, definitely. I certainly expect to be playing more of the Wii U, especially with Bayonetta coming out. I really like that Kirby game. The Yoshi's Yarn game looks really good. And of course, Smash Brothers will be coming out. And come what may, I will definitely be playing that with my friends. In any case, please continue to follow USGamer at usgamer.net. We got more coverage of E3 coming up. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you soon.